Hey everybody, this is Xeminan. Welcome to the round one of the Illustrious Cards in Games Thursday night One Piece TCG local. And wouldn't you know it, I happen to be picked for stream for round one. Usually the staff, they just look at one of the tables and choose a table to go for the round. They happen to choose this matchup. So I'm Xeminan. I'll be playing Rob Lucci, and I'm facing Leon. Leon's playing the starter deck 14 Luffy, which is growing in popularity all across, just in Set 8 everywhere, but particularly within our local scene as well. A lot of players are starting to pick up starter deck 14 Luffy. Not sure if they like it's because they like the matchup into Lucci or maybe some other meta decks, but regardless, it's becoming very popular. So let's see how round one plays out here between these two black decks. So I'm gonna start with a swing at my opponent for 5. He counters out of it. Now we are going to notice eventually, I should say. Leon totally forgot that he didn't put his life out. I've been there before. I think we've all been there before at local. Sometimes we all make the mistake. You know, no worries. It's a learning experience and something that we've all done before. So I told him just take his top 5 cards. No big deal. Put that on the at the start there. I also played Khalifa on my 4 Don turn because I'm trying to get to 10. I'm trying to get to 10 cards in the trash as fast as possible. So that's through Lucci leader attack. Every turn is 2. Khalifa draws 2 and trashes 2. If I have a Sabo, I draw 2, trash 2. You know, playing a lot of cards will get me to 10 to activate that Tempest Kick to get the draw and the -3 cost. But here on this 5 down turn, Leon's going to start off with a brand new, picking up the T-Bone, so he gains a 2k in hand on this turn. And I think this matchup, particularly against Luffy for Lucci, as I have a lot of experience playing Lucci, if you don't run into your cost reduction, the starter deck Luffy can really just start to run away with the game. You got to run into your Ice Ages and Tempest Kicks and other things, because you're going to be in trouble if you don't. So plays out his Shirahoshi for the turn, and it hasn't swung yet with the Luffy. Still has Don available. Had to trash a card. He still has 2 Don available, so he's going to attach that to make a 7k swing at my leader. Trying to remember if I take this or not. I am at 5 life, so it's probably not the end of the world to take it, but I will actually I will follow suit with my game plan, right, of trying to get to 10 cards in the trash as fast as possible. So I just threw a 2k and a 1k in there, Kaku and Sabo, to get more cards in the trash. I draw for turn. I think I'm getting very close to 10 at that point, but I don't have a Tempest Kick yet. So I'm going to swing 6 at life, trashing 2 more cards, Rebecca and Akaido, and I think that was probably a misplay here. If I'm being honest, I should have just swung 5 at life and then attach that 1 Don to the Khalifa so I could get 2 5k swings, because I only had 5 Don remaining. So I play the Sabo to draw 2, trash 2, and then next turn I will have 10 cards in the trash. So just depends on what I would like to trash this turn. I have a lot of 2Ks in my hand, as well as 2 valuable events, right, with the Tempest Kick and the Ice Age. But Ice Age does a -5 cost, which is more important than Tempest Kick's -3. So I decided to get rid of that and the Khalifa, because I can always get Khalifa back with a Rebecca in the future. So I think I'm pretty well set up. I'm at 10 trash. I still have 5 life. I have a Sabo on the board to block some things here. So I think for the most part, doing pretty well in these early turns. I noticed I ended up finishing 4-1 at the local last Thursday. And I noticed that a lot of the times, if I can play Khalifa on my 4 Don turn, if I can go, brand new early, get some cards in there. Khalifa on 4 Don turns, Sabo on 5 or 6 Don turns. I think it's very helpful for Lucci to just try to do that. And I think in 3 of my 4 wins, I literally started, I went second and I went brand new, Khalifa, Sabo in my first 3 turns of the game. And it really helps you fill up your trash as fast as possible. So Leon is going after he attacks, and I take that top life. He's going to play the 7 cost monkey D Luffy there, the Dressrosa one, and this is immediately a problem. I know it. I have to get rid of this right now before he can start to establish multiple big bodies on the field. When multiple bodies that can get their cost up, get to 8 cost on the field there. So I know I have that Ice Age in hand still, and there's the Jack. So I have 8 Don in my hand. I tap 2, lose 1 cost to lower the cost on that Luffy by 1. He's going to take that life. And then I have Ice Age and Jack for the combination. And this is where Jack is just absolutely crucial in the black deck and mirror matches. I mean, by being able to get rid of trash a card and then KO one of your opponent's 3 costs or less, but because of Ice Age, it makes it so you can KO most things in the game. I got rid of that Luffy as fast as possible. I knew that turn I had to go all in because I couldn't let him get a Luffy plus a Gecko plus some of his other high-end cards. It's too hard to deal with. So if anyone's playing this matchup, just save your cost reduction. If you're on the Lucci side, save your cost reduction for the turns with when he plays a big body. It's not worth it to KO a 5 cost like their Sanjis or Robins or some of the other things that they'll play in the early game. You gotta save it for the 7 cost, the 8 costs, things like that. Especially the Ice Ages. It is tough if they have their own Jacks on the other side, because Jack is inherently an 11 cost on the field, so you would need kind of like 2 Ice Ages to get it down. But yeah, that would be my biggest recommendation, is save your cost reduction for the big bodies. Don't care about those mid-level bodies. He is going to play a Sabo on this turn, drawing 2 trash 2. We see as access to a Robin there. 2 Gecko Morias in hand, I believe, so you can probably just trash 1 of those Geckos. So has to get rid of a Robin and Brook, keeping 2 Geckos in hand. Might want to play that, back-to-back turns coming up. He's going to attach the 1 Don to all of his to the Luffy, so that all of his characters have 1 extra cost on their side. Swinging 6k into life. I'm going to take that because I'm getting low in hand size. So he could have swung 5, and I would have taken that just to gain a card. And he attaches 3 to the brand new for another 5k swing. So again, that's a mistake on my part. We always want to point out the mistakes. I could have just tapped my Sabo, who's a 6k swing. Unless, oh wait, no, actually, it's brand new is a 6k right now with 3 extra. So I did give him a 2k with the Who's Who. So I would have had to have tapped Sabo and given a 1k. Either way, I would have still needed to give a card to Luffy on the other side. So, but yeah, a couple mistakes I can just see from watching back the video. There were 2 separate turns I could have attacked with Khalifa at 5k that I didn't because I attached the Don elsewhere. So now on this turn, this should be our 10 Don turn. I'm pretty sure. And I go 4k into the brand new. Yep. So get rid of that little body there. You can always bring it back later with a Gecko Mori or something, but I'd much rather than bring back brand new than something else more valuable. Gonna attach 2 to the leader, swinging 7k, putting 2 more cards in the trash. He takes that life, that 7k swing, and then I'm going to drop 8 on Isho. So that was the play right there. I asked him how many cards he had in his hand. He had 5. So I attached 2 to Lucci make it a 7K swing, make him want to take it, goes up to 6 cards, and then playing Isho. If your opponent has 6 cards in their hand, trash on play, trash 2 of their cards, and I choose. So I think that's an absolutely massive play. I did that multiple times throughout the tournament last week, where getting my opponent onto their 6th card in hand and then forcing it out. You can do that on your 8 Don turn, on your 10 Don turn, whichever version of it. Isho is really valuable in the Black Mirror matches because especially the combination of Isho and Jack. Honestly, that's what I've learned throughout these 5 rounds, because I did play a lot of Black Mirrors. I think I played 4 black decks in my 5 matches on at the local. Was that the combination of Isho plus Jack is just incredible together. So he does drop down the Kaido, which is a 9K or 9 cost, excuse me. Getting to trash my Sabo, as well as I have to as well as his leader is a 6K attacker, right? So now it's a little bit harder for me to get attacks into the board there. That's gonna be a 6K swing into my Khalifa, so not worth saving that. Khalifa's last on the board way longer than anticipated. But with the combination of Isho and Jack, it's almost GG. Pretty much every character that he brings onto the field every turn is potentially threatened by this Isho Jack combination. Like, inherently, yes, he gains 1, so Kaido is a 10 cost right now, but once I attach 1 Don to my Isho, Kaido goes down to a 7. All it would take would be an Ice Age to KO it with the Jack. But the other way is if I don't have an Ice Age, I can use my Lucci leader swing or effect for 1 minus cost. And then the Tempest Kick is 3. But as you can see, I do have an Ice Age in hand. I think I actually play this out of order because I can Ice Age onto the Kaido, lowering it to a 5 cost, playing Gecko Moria, and then should be for Helmeppo and Rob Lucci, KOing this and the Shirahoshi. But what I could have done is if I had just attached that 1 extra energy, as you can see, or Don, to my Isho at the start of the turn, I didn't need to have the Helmeppo lower the cost reduction, and I also could have brought the Sabo down in its cost, because Isho would have brought Sabo down to a 2 cost. Could have tried to swing with Lucci to bring it to a 1 cost earlier, and I could have KO'd the Sabo and Kaido, which is way more important than the Shirahoshi on the other end. But now that I did attach Isho, see how I told you I did it out of order. Again, we're always trying to learn from your mistakes. First thing I should have done was just attach the one Don to Isho. Jack was able to KO Sabo because Sabo was a 2 cost on the field. So that just shows how powerful Jack and Isho are together. I now have a really strong board, and I just KO'd my opponent's entire board there. So they had 3 characters all gone. I have Jack is an 8K swing. Isho is going to be a 9K swing every turn because I have to attach 1 Don. Gekomori is a 9K swing. Rob Lucci is 6K as well. I'm in just a fantastic spot. And now pretty much anything that my opponent can play every turn, I'm just going to spend everything that I have to knock out, to bring their cost low enough to be KO'd. And there's a lot of different ways, obviously, that Rob Lucci can KO stuff. You have the Jack on the field. You have I have my own Kaidos, my 9 cost Kaidos as well. Even Who's Who, if he plays something low cost, or I can bring their cost down. But that's going to be the Gecko Moria. And I don't know how much our opponent has of value in the trash for the Gecko Moria play, because they don't have the higher end, the 4 cost value character. They do have Suru that can play stuff. They do have Brand New that can get a card, but it looks like it's going to be Brook is what's played out on the other end there, which Brooke doesn't even get to pop down my Helmeppo even. So Brooke is just a body he's gaining on the board, but really, like I said, the Gecko Moria didn't have too much that he was able to bring back just because of the nature of what was in the trash. It wasn't a great 4 cost for Gecko Moria to bring back here. So that's going to be a 6k swing onto my or actually swings to the Helmeppo there. I think that's probably a misplay because you don't want to give me access to Helmeppo in my trash, right? You might as well just leave the Helmeppo on the field. But then again, you could worry if Helmeppo swings into the brand new since it is rested. I understand why you might feel threatened, as well as not wanting to give me extra cards from life if that attack went into my life. But here we are. I still have 3 life. I have 3 big bodies plus a Lucci on the field. He only has 1 life remaining. I think this is probably a turn that I can try to go for game if I remember correctly. So we're going to put 1 onto Rob Lucci, making that a 7k swing at life. We see he has a brand new, how much else? 5 cards in hand. T-Bone. T-Bone's a 2k. So he is a 6k on the turn. Remember that since Gecko Moria is on the field, that all Luffy needed was a 2k. My next attack, he's going to counter 2. Now he has 2 cards in hand. I'm assuming he has no counter left, just because of how he countered out the last 2 hits. That's going to be the Jack, and then all the Don in the world onto Isho for the game. And we're actually going to win round 1 here at the Thursday Night Locals for Illustrious. And I felt really good into the deck. Unfortunately for our opponent, he didn't have the greatest of cards in his trash when he wanted to play the Gecko Moria. And then really the one big turn I think that changed the game, changed the momentum, was me KOing the 7 cost Luffy before he was able to establish it on the board and get a swing and keep his leader at 6k power. I think if he could get multiple 7 or 8 cost characters onto the board together, it would have been really hard for me to get rid of them, and he would maintain that 6k power. But because I was able to just use all my cost reduction to KO the big bodies one at a time, I end up coming away with the victory in this round. So thank you everybody for watching this. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be uploading the other rounds from the local as well, and we'll see you in the next one.